We will look at how CoAP works to ensure reliable data transmission between a sender and a receiver. Here, we are not talking about clients or servers because what we will see applies equally to each of these elements. We have seen that there is a 2-byte type field in CoAP's mandatory header. This allows encoding 4 types of packets: confirmable messages, non-confirmable messages, acknowledgments, and a special reset message. If a sender wants to ensure reliable transmission of a message, they choose the confirmable type and select a value for the message ID field that hasn't been used yet. They send the message, arm a timer, and wait for an acknowledgement. If an acknowledgement arrives before the timer expires and contains the same value in the message ID field, the initial message is acknowledged. Now, suppose the message doesn't reach its destination. The sender waits until their timer expires and resends the unacknowledged message as is. Let's now look at what happens if, in this scenario, it's the acknowledgement that gets lost. For the sender, it's the same situation. They sent a message and received nothing. So the timer wakes up, the sender resends, but their message reaches its destination. This time, the message ID field warns the receiver that they have already seen this message since the value is the same. So the receiver acknowledges the message by sending the previous response, but will not perform new processing associated with this request. The receiver must therefore keep a copy of all the responses they have made. But for how long? We must consider the worst case scenario. Our sender sends messages that get lost each time, except for the last attempt. To avoid network saturation, these attempts are increasingly spaced out. We take into account the longest transmission delays and processing times, and we arrive at a default duration of 5 minutes. This means that if the client reuses the same message value during this period, the message will be considered a duplicate.